Now. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Breezeway Dialogues. The Breezeway Dialogues are intended to foster diverse viewpoints through civil discourse. I want to start by thanking Catherine and Polly and their staff for all the help they gave us in getting this event together. They went above and beyond at every step of the way. I'm Dr. Sharon Darling. I'm from the College of Education. My colleague, Dr. Dukes, and I had the idea that we would bring you these dialogues today, the great academic discipline debate. We thought it would be a fun and interesting way that faculty can showcase their work and then allow students and faculty and staff to learn a little bit more about what we do each day and perhaps the reasons why we went into the discipline. So I will start with some logistics. If you are here and you're a student, please scan in to record your attendance and best of all, to make you eligible for the prize. The prize are a pair of Apple AirPods. You must stay till the end and you must be present to win. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the debaters, and they'll just wave at you, and then when they come up, you'll know that they are. So the way today's going to work is that we are going to encourage audience participation. When you signed in, or please visit the table over there to pick up some paddles. Please encourage the debaters if you like what they're saying. Do you agree, disagree, yes, no? But there will be electronic voting in 2 rounds. So what's going to happen today is the debaters will come up with the first round. Each of them will have 3 minutes to give you their best arguments about why their knowledge should be preserved. Then we will vote to decide which 3 debaters get to move on to round 2. At round 2, the faculty debaters will have 2 minutes to give you some even more good arguments about why their knowledge should be preserved. And then we will vote again. The second round, we are going to introduce the role of the alternative debater. That debater will argue against any knowledge being preserved. So in round 2, you're voting. They disagree already. In round 2, you will have a choice of 4, 3 debaters and 1 alternative debater to vote for to decide who will be the winner. We will be awarding a medal, and best of all, the winning debater will have bragging rights, at least for the next year, that they are the best debater and their knowledge should be preserved. So without further ado, I'm going to call out the debaters. Alan Barsky from the College of Social Work and Criminal Justice. Came with a fan club, I see. Donna Shamley-Week from the Office of Undergraduate Research and from the Department of Chemistry. Kimberly Dunn from College of Business. Candy Wilson from College of Nursing. Lincoln Sloas from College of Social Work and Criminal Justice. William Trapani from College of Arts and Letters. And my colleague, Dr. Dukes, Dr. Dukes from the College of Education. So I want to allow you to take a time hop right now. I'm going to set the stage for the debate by telling you why we're having this debate. So picture it. It's the year 2053. The Earth was threatened by a meteor. A direct collision was predicted, which would have resulted in catastrophic consequences. Sadly, extensive life loss and property damage were thought to be inevitable. Thankfully, the meteor did not make a direct impact. However, the near miss drew the planet together in fear. The good thing is that we experienced a peace that we never experienced before. The planet was different, though. It was different in that it suffered a loss of power. Virtually all sources of power that we know were destroyed, making it difficult and in many cases impossible to maintain life. Life changed from that moment forward. After basic survival was restored, people sought normalcy. That normalcy included educating future generations. Universities were slow to return, but eventually institutions opened their physical and virtual doors. But things were different. Much of the knowledge base was stored on devices that we could not easily access. As luck would have it, we found holograms. These holograms were professors delivering content in their disciplines. Although we had an almost endless set of holograms, the source of power that was needed to retrieve them was not available. So we had to decide which one we would save. Based on what happened, expending the power to save all of them was not available. So we had to make the extremely difficult decision about which knowledge should be preserved. So it begs the question, whose knowledge is of most worth? Which hologram should be saved, and which one should be left dormant? Welcome to the great academic discipline debate. We will start with our first debater.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I am going to approach this in a personal way by asking you, how do you feel about resources? And you're like, wait, what? You're asking, an accountant is asking me how I feel? Well, let's take a step back and talk about what resources are. I only have 3 minutes. We're going to focus on financial resources. So financial resources are things that you own that provide value to you now or value to you in the future. So think about this. Would you like to have more resources or less resources in your personal life? What are some resources that you want to have in your personal life? Shout it out. Money. You want money in your personal life. What else? Time, financial resource. Time is not a financial resource. It is. You can buy time. You can rent time. A house. You want a house? We want money, a house. Anything else? Any other financial resource you would like to have in your personal life? Diamonds and fur coats. Why do you want these things? Survival. So if we're going to preserve knowledge, you're suggesting that preserving accounting knowledge will enable us to survive? Wow. How about your professional life? What financial resources do you want in your professional life? Financial resources. You can't buy smart people. Education. So education, we can buy education, I suppose, through tuition dollars. What else would you like to have in your professional life? So you would like to have resources to enable you to do research, to achieve new discoveries. And why do you want to do that? Because you're selfish or because you want to make the world a better place? So you're suggesting that the allocation of resources to places where the world could be a better place would be a good knowledge to preserve? Yes? What else would you like to have in your professional life? Healthcare. So putting resources toward healthcare. What will help you do your job better? What are you passionate about? Time? My time is up. Okay, so if you want to know the secret, vote for me, and I'll tell you the secret.
Go chemistry, woo! Okay. Say when. Ready? Okay. Chemistry is the study of life itself, the study of matter, and in fact, everything that matters. But what makes the field of chemistry essential? Many things we use daily started from a chemist with an idea. Let's talk about the idea. Quite literally, chemists create solutions, to help make things better. Today, I'm going to focus on a few reasons why chemistry is indispensable for us not only to survive, but also to thrive. Why few? Because few stands for food, energy, and water. Let's start with food. In food production, chemistry plays a role in creating fertilizers and analyzing soil. Binding nitrogen from air to create ammonia is important for fertilizers, for growing crops, and for ensuring food security. Chemical processes like fermentation, which have improved our daily lives, especially if it involves fermentation of grapes on a Friday night after a very long work week. Okay. But not only does chemistry help in food production, I'm getting yeses, just saying. Think about shelf life and food preservation. Think about Louis Pasteur and pasteurization. Without pasteurization, how could we have our cereal and milk on a morning? Number 2, energy. No more power. You heard, huh? Okay. So there was an entire loss of power. Large-scale energy production becomes invaluable. What does chemistry do? We provide the tools for energy generation and energy storage. Think about biofuels, solar power, basic chemical reactions become an important asset to generate energy. The chemistry behind solar cells and photodetectors allows us to generate energy, and then we'll save all disciplines. But chemistry first. And our third one is water. After the apocalypse, access to pure water is going to be a bit of a problem. And we know that without clean water, none of us are going to survive. So water for purification techniques through chemical systems, such as desalination and filtration, is going to help us make water safer for consumption. We can leverage our oceans and remove the salt and generate a readily available source of water in areas where water is scarce. So food, energy, and water are important steps, but chemistry offers something more, and that is a structured way of reasoning, opportunities for critical thinking, and using the iterative process to be able to approach problems for future successes. Thank you.
All right, we started this debate with the scare of that meteor collision. The planning and the disaster care of the aftermath was likely part of a large-scale need for humanity to survive. And I can guarantee a nurse was at that table. Who else of my colleagues can say that when it comes to planning the need for the future generation? Nurses are everywhere. Who here knows a nurse or is a nurse? Great, so my point is exactly, nurses are everywhere. They care for the sick and wounded in all environments. You are probably asking, why am I wearing a military uniform? I was a nurse in the Air Force for 20 years and provided care throughout the world. Nurses serve in uniformed services in the most demanding environments and answer the nation's call. But don't forget the Peace Corps. humanitarian, disaster, such as like with the Red Cross, and our local communities. Nurses, again, are everywhere. Now that you hear the importance of nursing, what do nurses bring that is unique to healthcare, and why should nursing knowledge be preserved? Nursing care is critical for the restoration of health. Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, was a beacon for wounded warriors in Crimean War. When Nightingale and her team raised awareness of the healthcare conditions, following surgery and illness-borne sicknesses, soldiers were dying. Nightingale reported the lack of medicines, low hygiene standards, and mass infections home and to the military leaders. She improved standards by using her statistical skills to demonstrate the changes she and her colleagues made that showed nursing care saved lives. Fast forward to nursing today. Nursing science is replete with their own theories and distinguish it from other disciplines. But when it comes to knowledge, we focus on the classic fundamental patterns of knowing, and we have 5 of them. Empirical, it's exactly what you think it is. Our knowledge is based on evidence-based, and we have scientific foundation for our interventions. Personal, recognizing ourselves in the care of the patient. Aesthetic, that is the art of nursing, that part that is pre-science. Ethics, our profession codes in conduct and state licensure, we are bound to do what is right. Praxis, practicing patient advocacy, that is our strength. We have an obligation to turn our knowledge into effective advocacy to change the world, as I'm doing here today. So, using these 5 ways of knowing in our knowledge journey, nursing knowledge should be preserved and carried through the limited bandwidth of the holograms needed to teach future generations for the health and well-being of all. Thank you. Go nursing.
Good day. Unfortunately, you'll have to listen to me sing because my musical accompaniment is not working today, but please join along with me in the words of a great philosopher, Michael Jackson. Feel free to join in, you know the words. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. Okay, we don't have 3 minutes to sing the song, so just think about it. The world was threatened by a meteor. All the power is gone. Think about the destruction, the people who died because there's no power, the universities that closed. All these university professors are out of a job. University students have no place to go for their education. And here we are, debating about whose knowledge should be prioritized, and we're going to have a debate about it? What about the feelings that people are having right now? What feelings would you have in this moment? Is anybody feeling sad, scared, traumatized? You know, in social work, we believe in starting where people are. We're still in the early ages of recovering from a global disaster. We need people who can help to rebuild the planet. And not just rebuilding houses, roads, hospitals, and schools, but also rebuilding communities, families, social support systems, and, in case there may be future disasters, a system of disaster preparedness and response. You can imagine, this is a time when we need people who can assist with trauma, people who can help organize communities, people who can bring people from diverse organizations together to build social policies and civil society, and other systems to rebuild our society. You know, if you're thinking we need social workers, that's true. And it's also true that we need nurses and accountants and English majors and chemists, computer scientists, artists, linguists, actors, and musicians. Why aren't all these other knowledge bases even here at the table? Are they being silenced? Who's going to speak for them? You know, social work does not believe in chauvinism, believing that our knowledge or our profession is the only profession or the best profession that does certain things. We believe in working together We believe in interprofessional and multidisciplinary practices. You know, if this Breezeway debate was not just a fun and interesting exercise, a thought experiment, or a debate, but rather we were really in the midst of rebuilding our society, we wouldn't have an adversarial debate at all. We'd have a collaborative problem-solving approach, a dialogue, and social workers would be part of that dialogue. You know, we learn how to facilitate or mediate between all sorts of different peoples, helping to build, you know, solutions to problems from various perspectives, not just from our own disciplines. Thank you very much. If you care to hear the rest of it and another song, please vote for social work, but I really don't have a big ego, so I'm okay going home and crying.
You good? Hi, everybody. Before I begin, I just want to thank the organizers. I want to thank Dr. Dukes and Dr. Darling. This is really great. One of the great things about a university is events like this, and I'm really grateful to all the students and faculty, staff, and thank you also to all the 3 colleges. I have the staff and support teams here to make this possible. This is a really great event. So I'm here to talk about rhetorical theory. Maybe you don't even know what that is. Let's just use the word communication. Let's just use the word influence and communication, right? And so why would we need that? I mean, the world that Dr. Barsky lives in sounds amazing. It is. Right. I want to live in that world, but I don't. I live in a different world. Raise your hand if you've never been in an argument. Raise your hand. You've never been in an argument, ever. Raise your hand if you've never purchased something because of an advertisement. Right? Raise your hand if you've never read something and been convinced by a statistic or the way the argument was presented. Nobody. This isn't a choice what knowledge we have. We have rhetoric because we have humanity. We communicate because we're humans. Can I ask all my fellow presenters to just stand? I'm sorry, can you stand? Can you look at the audience? So we have some of the most amazing faculty at this university. Right, give them a hand. I mean, we represent, right? We represent business and science and medicine and human conditions and making them better and policing and stuff. Now, can all of you do me a favor and look at the audience? Can you close your eyes and put your hand over your mouth? Now, those same experts, if they can't see, they can't communicate, they can't speak, they can't articulate, they have all of the knowledge in the world. Thank you, everybody. You can be the world's best nurse, but if you can't communicate to the patient, take this medicine. They won't do it. You could be the best financial advisor, but if the client doesn't listen, they're bankrupt. Come look at my bank account. And I could do the same thing all down the line. Right? Let me just finish with 2 things that I want you to keep in your mind. They've already lost, and I don't mean that to be arrogant, but they're not doing their discipline, they're doing mine. They're speaking, they all are thinking of how to persuade you, they're working the crowd. All of them today said, how can I persuade that my discipline is the best discipline? They didn't say, how can I do some accounting in front of these people? No offense. And I love wine, but you didn't make any. And I'm angry about that, right? At some level, what they all did this morning when they woke up is said, there's an audience, I need to influence them. That's what I do. And I'll say this, there's a lot of bad people in this world that want to influence us in dangerous directions. And we need to learn rhetoric so we can decode and stop that as we do good things as well. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for your time and being here today. So let me just start off by saying the word crime. So I say that intentionally because I'm assuming or theorizing that when I use that term or that concept, we all had some sort of flashbulb memory in our mind. Perhaps we've been a victim of a crime, unfortunately. Perhaps we know someone who has been a victim of a crime in our lives. whether it's something property related, violent crime related. And so as we think about those words, we also think about the importance of the role that a criminologist plays in understanding crime. What do we mean by that? How do we understand crime? So going through some of these ideas, thinking about the meteor as it's coming toward Earth, crime does not stop. In fact, someone named Emil Durkheim, a famous sociologist, and criminology is essentially a subdiscipline of sociology. Durkheim once said, "Crime is pervasive in all societies, and it reaffirms moral boundaries and at times facilitates needed social changes." And so in our discipline, the role of a criminologist is to focus on crime reduction and also crime prevention. And we do have a crime problem in this country. We incarcerate more individuals than any industrialized nation. And there are a lot of people in prison who do not need to be in prison. And so the role of a criminologist is to demonstrate and separate our facts and our opinions about things. We all have facts, we all have opinions, but what matters most in making decisions is the facts about something. So in order to maintain this idea of criminology, criminal justice, we have to set forward the facts about what we think about crime and what we know empirically, or how it's scientifically driven, and how we can understand that and move it forward. So for example, maintaining social order is one of the primary functions of criminology. To understand, to analyze criminal behavior in times of crisis, for example, like the meteor, the risk of social unrest and criminal activities tends to rise. So criminologists, armed with their expertise, can contribute significantly to predicting and preventing potential criminal acts. So by preserving criminology, we invest in the tools necessary to maintain social order and prevent chaos during these times of crises. And so again, that's one point that I was trying to make with you guys. I have several others. I hope to maybe get to move forward and to share some of those with you guys. But important to remember, crime does not stop. It is pervasive in any society moving forward. Even in a new society, crime will present itself in some form or fashion. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give the debaters another round of applause. That was amazing. It's wonderful to see the passion, the verve, the competition. If the cap fits. So now it's time for you to vote. Round one voting. There is a QR code on the screen. If you will point your smart device at it and vote for 3 debaters. Yes, you can vote for yourself. 3 debaters to move forward to round 2. Can we put a minute on the clock, please? Shameless. Well, at least he didn't bring cake. So we have about 20 seconds left to cast your ballots. 3 and only 3 debaters get to move forward. Feel free to hold up the number of the debater you want others to vote for. All righty, 3, 2, 1. Let's close the poll, please, and see who gets to move forward. Rojit. You're not? What's going on? He just closed it. I told you. Is anyone having issue with the voting? Yes. Okay, we're going to have to do this manually. All righty, so debater number 1, come up, please. I'm sorry. Turn around. Do not face the audience. Raise your hand if you would like to vote for debater number 1. Do not turn around. Dr. Dukes is going to count. All righty, thank you. Debater number 2. Stand up, you don't have to face the audience. Raise your hand if you'd like to vote for debater number 2.
Okay, got it.
All righty, debater number 3. Let's vote for debater number 3, please. See, we can keep it rolling. Nursing. Raise your hand if you'd like to vote for the colonel. That she is. That she is. Great, thank you. Debater number 4, oranges and all. Raise your hand if you'd like to vote for debater number 4. Is that a vote? Thank you. Debater number 5. Raise your hand if you'd like to vote for debater number 5. All righty, and last but not least, debater number 6. Hands up for debater number 6. No voting going on over here? All righty, thank you for voting. Before we tally the votes and declare the next round, I'd like to make another plug for the raffle that's going on. If you have not scanned into the event, meaning recorded your presence, then you have forego the opportunity to win a pair of AirPods. Okay. You will have to stay until the end, scan in, stay until the end, and then you might be picked. So I've just been notified that there's a tie. There's a tie, so we have to vote again for 2 debaters to move forward. We have spot number 1 secured. We have spot number 2 secured. So we need to secure spot number 3. So the 2 debaters that need to stand up again are debater number 3. So new voting, you're going to do 1 vote for 1 person. Oh, okay. The second one, number 6. So you're going to be choosing between number 4 or number 6. So let's start with number 3. Sorry, number 3. Raise your hand if you'd like number 3 to move forward. Great. Thank you. Hands down. Raise your hand if you'd like number 4 to move forward. 1 vote per person, even though we're in Florida. Thank you. Have a seat. The suspense builds.
And the winner is?
The three that are moving forward.
Oh, right. Okay, the three that are moving forward. We have debater number 2. Apparently people like molecules and such. Debater number 3. Yes, yes. Nurses are everywhere, including the second round. Number 5.
Congratulations. All righty, so round 2, they'll have 2 additional minutes to convince you why they should win the great academic debate. So without further ado.
Me again. Okay. Ready? Okay. If I haven't sold you just yet, permit me to go a little bit further. Chemistry is also integral in discovering and making drugs. And no, I'm not talking about breaking bad kind of drugs. I'm here to talk about medicine. So drug discovery and chemistry go hand in hand. The field of natural products has allowed chemists to identify and isolate medicinal compounds from natural sources. Penicillin, first antibiotic, was discovered from a mold in a lab. Taxol, a potent anti-cancer agent, came from the bark of a tree. But beyond identifying and purifying natural products, chemists make medicines better, faster, and eventually cheaper. Insulin, for example, was initially extracted and purified from the pancreas of a pig. And now it's made in factories on a mass scale, saving the lives of millions of people with diabetes. If all of this gives you a headache, just remember that aspirin was isolated by a chemist, just saying. So new technologies, such as artificial intelligence and combinatorial approaches, assist in discovering new drug targets, improving successes, and reducing the time and cost of drug development. Chemistry is crucial to maintaining a healthy, growing society. I began my talk by saying many things we use daily and we take for granted started from a chemist with an idea. That chemist turned that idea into an innovation. That innovation led to a product. That product saved lives. That product made lives better and life more comfortable and easier for all of us. So in conclusion, I'm going to end with a game. How many is familiar with the Would You Rather game? Would you rather? Okay, so here is my Would You Rather. In a post-apocalyptic world, would you rather learn how to make chocolate, coffee, and wine, or do you really want to learn how to do your taxes?
Thank you. Well, chemistry is amazing, and in nursing, we appreciate all that you do. But Gallup polls show consistently for the last 22 years, what is the most trusted profession? Nursing. We have education, skills, and autonomy in our practice. A nurse is not a nurse, is not a nurse. What does that even mean? Not all nurses enter practice the same. Not all nurses have the same specialty. Not all nurses stay in nursing. But I'll tell you one thing, being a nurse is always part of who they are. It's never turned off. Nursing is not only hand-holding and pillow fluffing, as many associate our profession with, but it's also about a science all its own. I started with Nurses Are Everywhere, and nursing knowledge is needed with the high-tech, high-touch need that is in this post-apocalyptic world. Nursing science is built upon and infuses many of the other disciplines, some that are represented here today. I thank you, chemistry, biology, written and oral communication. Nursing supports and is involved in case management, prison system care, school nurses, and business as healthcare administrators. There are nurse informatics who contribute in meaning to big data and precision medicine. Nursing knowledge unique to our college here at the Christy Neelan College of Nursing is growth and understanding of caring science. We say nurses care, but what does that even mean? We have a science and an obligation to society to advance nursing and caring and preserving it for future generations. Thank you very much.
I didn't really think I would get to this stage, so I don't have an act two. And I can't make chocolate and wine and the things that Donna can. And I can't save lives the way that Candy can. And in fact, I'm not even a really great profession. Most people hate the things we do. You want to know what the most hated, what are the most hated professions? Take a guess. Politician. What else? Lawyers. What else? What? Used car salespeople. Lobbyists. What's the thing that makes all those people? They persuade. Nobody likes those people. Ever heard of Martin Luther King? Ever heard of Abraham Lincoln? Ever heard of Barack Obama? Even Donald Trump. What makes those people? They persuade. I can't do the things that they can do. But they can't do the things they do without me. They can't do the things they need. And more importantly, our society in this time after this weird, complicated scenario, it can't be what it needs to be. We can't have leaders without rhetoric. And we can't stop the villains without knowing how that rhetoric works. I got 45 seconds. I got to do something. I'm going to talk about my kid. My kid is 15. This is the age where they want to stop listening to me. That started 10 years ago. But yesterday, and this is a totally true story, she wants to go for the first time ever in a car with another 15-year-old or 16-year-old that can drive. Can I do that? Heck no. She started calling me an emotional terrorist. I hope you have a terrible day, she says. After about 4 hours of that, she said, I really love you. I'm so sorry I was so mean. Please let me do this. And because her mother and I have the spine of nothing, later today she's going to take her first ride with her friends of her peer group. She learned how to communicate. She learned what didn't work. She learned what did work. And most importantly, in that second conversation, she came up with strategies, plans, ways to make us feel safe. That's what we need in a new society, even more than chocolate. Thanks, everybody.
I don't know about you, but this is going to be hard. They really brought their A game to the second round, didn't they? All righty, so now it's time for round 2 voting. But before we get to that, we have the alternative debater.
Thank you. Today we've heard some illustrious arguments, and we've even heard arguments about why the argument is a good argument, or whatever he was saying. But I'm here today to make an appeal to something that I think that you all know, something that lives within you. I'm here today to appeal to the human spirit. Who are we if we are not humans? Who are we if we're not our personalities and the smile that you know? We connect because we are humans. We don't connect because we're chemists. We don't count things because we like to account. We do things because we connect as human beings. I argue today to reject it all. Reject it all. It's not going to be a new world because of those things. It's going to be a new world because of the human connection that we can make together. The table that we can sit at together, as my colleague Dr. Barsky already argued. The connection that we can make, the social connection that we can work on, or social work, whatever you want to call it. We are going to do it together. we can nurse our world into something that is going to be great. It would be a crime for us not to connect as humans. It would be a crime. And in fact, the chemistry that we feel together is going to make us stronger. I argue today to reject it all. Vote for the alternative debater because the alternative is not about me, it's not about you, it's about us and who we can be together in our new world. Thank you.
Okay. I thought he was going to make it easier, but he in fact made it a little more difficult to choose. So we're going to go with the manual voting again. This one's going to be a little bit hard. So we have 3 debaters, and we have 1 alternative debater. So we'll take them one at a time. Debate. Vote only once, please, and only for one person. So, repeat? Throw them out the group. If you would like to vote for debater number 2, hands up.
Should I count? Is this a conflict of interest?
You can count.
Okay, Kim will count.
I will count.
Okay. Thank you. Debater number 3. If you'd like to vote for debater number 3, raise your hand, please. Great, thank you. Debater number 6. Number 5. If you'd like to vote for debater number 5. And then the alternative debater. If you'd like to vote for the alternative debater. There will be no special favors if you vote for the alternative debater. I'm shutting it down. All righty. This is your last chance to register for the AirPods. Your last chance. All righty. So this is not just fun and games, folks. Someone is going to get to go home with this today. Well, maybe not today. They're going to get this to go home with this at some point.
If you all can imagine that this is an envelope, I'm handing no, it might be a conflict of interest if I read it. Go ahead.
This ballot has been touched. Without further ado, drum roll, please. Audience, I'd like to announce the winner of the academic discipline debate is, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? It's the alternative debater.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks. Thank you. And I just have a 20-minute, no, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much. So let me talk about the debate itself just for a minute. So I hope we've had a lot of fun. I really enjoy that my colleagues joined us. I enjoy that the students came out and everyone who joined us today. So thank you so much for that and taking part in this. Today was about getting knowledge, getting content, and getting the active act of talking about what we know and what we value. And the alternative was simply to draw attention to the idea of having this kind of robust discussion. We're in a time now where these kinds of discussions are real. There is discussion about sociology. There's discussion about our curriculum here in Florida. I hope that you are, if you're not aware of this, I hope that you can make yourself aware of this, because the idea that we talk about, that we debate, that we actually decide this as opposed to that is something real, and we want to make you aware of that. But most of all, what we wanted to do today is we wanted to give you just a little bit of entertainment, a really good-looking guy who ended up winning, and most of all of these colleagues that came together, they give you something about what they teach. So thank you for that. All right, now we have the prize. What so many of you have been waiting for. And I think my name is only in here 3 times.
Students only.
Yes, sorry, students only. Okay, all right, I won't look. All right, what am I reading? The last 3 numbers?
Just read the whole thing.
Okay, I'll read the whole thing. All right. 5, 0. Yeah, it's got to be done in a dramatic fashion, doesn't it? 5. Okay. 507382. Where are you? Yay! You win. How cool is that? She did. Yeah, she's there. We appreciate you taking the time. One of the very first QR codes that you, okay, good, it's up again. We encourage you to take that QR code so that you can learn about all of the faculty members that you were introduced to today. There are t-shirts over there. I would bet if you ask nicely, if you're a student and you want to talk to one of these illustrious faculty members, they would do that before they get back to all that they do. And if at all possible, we hope to make this an annual event, and we'll see how many more of these medals I can win. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend today. Thank you.